Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are the most searched couple of all time, absolutely shattering Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's record. Interest in the names Taylor and Travis have gone up 25% on babynames.com since they started dating. The day after Taylor attended her first Chiefs game, Travis's jersey sales went up 400%. They are the undisputed most famous couple in American history. But how did it all start? And is there going to be a fairy tale ending? Or is this a PR stunt like so many say? Well, in this video, I will go over the entire history of Taylor and Travis's relationship, so by the end, you'll be able to decide for yourself whether or not it's going the distance. The whole thing started off when Travis attended the Eras Tour for the first time in Kansas City on July 8th, at his home stadium for the Chiefs, Arrowhead Stadium. A few weeks later, Travis went on his weekly podcast with his brother Jason to talk about it on July 26th. This is the first time that Travis publicly mentions Taylor and how he tried to give her a friendship bracelet with his phone number on it after the concert. However, her team denied Travis the opportunity because she doesn't meet with anyone before or after the shows. Travis himself even said he was a little butthurt about not getting to meet Taylor that night, but later on found out
that she doesn't meet anybody, and she doesn't, or at least she didn't want to meet me. So I took it personal.
Fast forwarding to September 12th, which is the next time we hear anything about these two aside from just fan theories, most people have kept their excitement to a minimum since Travis said this back in July, and up until this point, we had not seen them two together. But then an anonymous insider comes forward to Entertainment Tonight to say Travis has been into Taylor for a while and definitely has a crush on her. He is a simple guy that is very funny, charismatic, chill, and loves playing football. Now rumors start trending about Taylor and Travis quietly hanging out and getting to know each other, but nobody knows how valid these rumors are because we assume that up until this point that Taylor can't do anything without the entire world knowing about it. September 14th, a pre-game interview with Travis Kelce comes out, and this is the first time he's been publicly asked about Taylor because of the internet traction he's getting from attempting to, quote, shoot his shot with the most famous person alive right now.
Hey, man,
Did you really have your phone number ready on a friendship bracelet to give to Taylor
I said what
Swift?
I said, and I meant what I said when I said it.
You shot your shot, huh,
And
man?
you know what? It is what it is. I'm not going to talk about my personal life. I know what you writers want to hear, and you want to hear more about that, and I'm not going to give you anything.
Has she reached out?
Huh?
Has she reached out?
And that's going to wrap it up here with NFL.
I think this interview is when we finally raised our eyebrows and came to the realization that maybe this whole thing actually has some credibility. Still on the same day, so September 14th, Jason Kelce gets caught off guard at a question about Travis's love life, to which he says,
maybe some stuff. Can you comment
I've
on
seen
this?
these rumors. I cannot comment.
Damn gossip TV. We're going on TMZ. What are we doing? Listen, it's for my daughter, okay? What are we doing?
Ever since catching Kelce, everybody has been infatuated with Travis's love life. So I don't really know what's going on there. So yeah, I know Trav is having fun, and we'll see what happens with whoever he ends up.
On September 17th, the NFL commentators started having fun, teasing Travis with Swift-related puns, like Kelce finds a blank space for the score after a touchdown, which, as we all know, was just the beginning of the uproar that would later come from football fans who get upset every time the NFL mentions Taylor. Since Travis wouldn't talk, people just started going straight to Jason instead. On September 20th, Jason decided to be super bold and said,
it's hard to answer because I don't really know a lot about what's happening in Travis's love life, and I try to keep his business kind of his business. Sure. and stay out of that world. But having said that, man, I think they're doing great, and I think it's all 100% true, and I hope that this soon goes a mile down, Joe.
Little did we know, he knew about their relationship all along and just cracks jokes 24/7, but ended up revealing too much too early. The next day, September 21st, an unknown source makes the claim that Tay and Travis have hung out twice and it's nothing serious. She thinks he's very charming, and they have been texting this last week. He is a little embarrassed at how much attention they are getting, but he has told her he would love to continue seeing her. Also on September 21st, Travis goes on the Pat McAfee show and finally reacts to the rumors of the two, which are spreading like wildfire.
Your love life is being talked about by the whole entire world right now. If you would like to expand upon anything, please, we would like to know.
You're going to give me the floor?
Floor is yours.
You're gonna give me the floor? I'll tell you what. It's fun. It's hilarious how much traction this has actually got. I think it's right now. It's like that old game in school called telephone, where everybody's just whispering in each other's ear, just hearing some random stuff, and then you got, especially no one actually knows what's going on, but especially when you got Jason Kelce on live television telling people just both sides.
You hate this? You hate that this is happening, though?
Yeah.
You hate that it's happening?
No, I mean, it's life, baby. It's life. I threw it out there. I threw the ball in her court. And, I told her, maybe I've seen you rock the stage in Arrowhead. You might have to come see me rock the stage in Arrowhead. and see which one's a little more lit. So we'll see what happens in the near future.
Travis!
The best part of all of this is that they were actually already official by this point, and we didn't find out until much later on, but we'll get to that. Now for the day that quite literally broke the internet. September 24th, Taylor shocked the world and actually showed up at Arrowhead. When we saw the clip of her in the Kelce box on our TV screens, we all finally realized, okay, this is actually happening. Not only did Taylor actually show up to the game, but she was there alone with Mama Kelce. Once the game was over, we all waited around to see what would happen next, and we got this video of the two walking through a locker room together. And then after what felt like an eternity, we saw clips of them driving off in Travis's convertible. Swifties loved this, especially because it drew parallels to Taylor's Getaway Car song. September 25th, everyone was impatiently waiting for details of their post-game night together. A source told Entertainment Tonight that Travis shut down a restaurant so he could throw an after party for Taylor. Travis bought out the restaurant for his family and team. Taylor arrived wearing a denim dress and was seen snacking, having some cocktails, and dancing alongside Travis. The two were very affectionate with one another, but kept things fun and lighthearted. Travis's teammates also showed up to the after party, as well as his mom and dad, Donna and Ed. The party lasted until 2 a.m., and Dumois also went to their Instagram story to tell us what they knew about the timeline of the day before. Apparently, Taylor rode to the game with Travis's family, and they had to change the guest list for the suite last minute because nobody actually knew that she was coming until the day of. Travis goes on his podcast on September 27th to talk about Taylor showing up for his game as if the world didn't completely stop.
Shout out to Taylor for pulling up. That was pretty ballsy. Yeah. I just thought it was awesome how everybody in the suite had nothing but great things to say about her. You know, the friends and family. She looked amazing. Everybody was talking about her in great light. And on top of that, to see the slow motion chest bumps, to see the high fives with mom, to see how, you know, Chiefs Kingdom was all excited that she was there. That was absolutely hysterical, and it was definitely a game I'll remember. That's for damn sure. And then we just slid off in the getaway car at the end. Took my Chevelle to the game, and yeah.
Moving on to September 28th, another source, most likely Taylor's publicist Tree Payne, spoke to Entertainment Tonight and said when Taylor and Travis first connected, Taylor was looking to have fun while enjoying some downtime. So far, it's been a nice change of pace for her. Now, as things progress between Taylor and Travis, they're both looking to keep things a bit more private. They're both excited about where things are headed. It sounds like Taylor wasn't looking for anything too serious during her huge world tour, but Travis completely just swept her off her feet. Starting off on the 1st of October, the Kansas City Chiefs played against the Jets and won at MetLife Stadium, which just happens to be only about 30 minutes from where Taylor lives in New York. So naturally, she decided to bring everyone she knows along with her. Her guest list consisted of best friends Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Sabrina Carpenter, Sophie Turner, Hugh Jackman, and to top off her star-studded suite was none other than Donna Kelce. At this point, nobody really knew how serious of a thing Taylor and Travis had, but when Taylor brought a bunch of people who were so close to her to see Travis play after less than a week of letting the word in, we started to realize that this feels a lot different than before. October 8th, Taylor actually skipped out on Football Sunday for the first time in a few weeks, and to her surprise, the Chiefs actually lost. At this point, it was starting to look like she was the good luck charm since they were consistently winning with her in attendance, and the internet started to bug Travis about it. Finally, on October 14th, we saw Taylor and Travis's first public appearance as a couple. We got so many adorable pictures and videos from this date night in New York City, but the whole night started out when they made a surprise appearance at SNL. First, during an NFL skit, Travis made a cameo to deliver some jokes, and then about 10 minutes later into the show, Taylor Swift pops up on screen completely to announce Ice Spice as the musical guest for the show. Even though their screen time was very short, the internet still lost their mind over it. There was one particular moment in that night that got a lot of attention. It was when Travis got Taylor's security to step out of the way so he could be the one to open the car door for her.
Did you get any pushback from the actual security guards about pushing them out of the way the one night?
Pushing them out of the way?
I mean, it's on camera, Travis.
I didn't push him. I placed my hand on the gentleman's back to let him know I was behind him. If I would have pushed him, he probably would have turned around and tased me.
Now, they both looked so happy that night, and Taylor looked like she felt actually safe with Travis. She didn't sprint to the car like maybe some other time. October 15th, so 2 nights in a row, some new paparazzi photos completely break the internet once again. Taylor and Travis spent another date night together out in New York City. They looked obsessed with each other and, more importantly, genuinely happy. That same night, a source tells People magazine that Taylor's unlike anyone Travis has dated before. It was very unexpected for his friends, but he's so into her and very, very happy. Some people thought he was just joking around about the bracelet, about having a crush on her earlier this summer, but he was serious about it. It just seems like there was a headline about either Taylor or Travis every single day this month, and the only people complaining were the dads, Brads, and Chads. More on that later. October 18th, it was revealed that Travis decided to upgrade his home and purchased a $6 million home in a gated community. A big reason for this, I'm sure, is that Taylor has been spending a lot more time in Kansas City, and despite Travis being 250 pounds of muscle, she still needs security. October 19th, a source tells the Daily Mail that Taylor is blown away right now, and her family is all about Travis. She's just trying to keep it together, but is obviously falling in love with him, and he feels the same way. He actually courted her, and she feels like she is the luckiest gal in the world right now. It is no coincidence that all she had to do was look outside of Hollywood. She's at the relationship stage where she looks forward to seeing him, getting calls from him, spending time with him. She has butterflies in her stomach, and she hasn't had that in a while. She feels safe and comfortable around him physically and emotionally. It's also around this time that people start putting together that Travis has a bye week that aligns with Taylor's South American leg of the Eras Tour. So naturally, everybody was speculating that he might find his way to some of her shows. October 22nd, Taylor shows up at Arrowhead to support Travis as the Chiefs play the Chargers. This time, Taylor spent the game in the Mahomes suite with Brittany and some of Patrick Mahomes' friends and family. For some reason, his suite seems to be a little more private in a more secluded area of the stadium. She wore a vintage Kansas City Chiefs crew neck that was rumored to be the 1989 season's logo, which of course sounds exactly like something Taylor would do. She's also seen wearing a friendship bracelet with 2 red heart beads with his jersey number 87 on it, not unlike the bracelet he said he made for her with his phone number on it. Despite the many complaints about how much screen time Taylor gets at the games, we saw a lot of cute moments between her and Brittany, where they even created a handshake, which they did every time the Chiefs got any points. This also happens to be the game where Travis took a pretty big fall, and we got a slow motion clip of Taylor's super concerned reaction. Then on October 24th, this photo dropped and everyone was freaking out. One of Travis's friends shared these pics on Instagram, and these were the first posed photos we got of them as a couple. This is around the same time when people started saying that the relationship is all for PR. Taylor's publicist shut that right down when she said this statement: Travis and Taylor are a very real couple. They actually spend a lot of one-on-one time together and have developed a very real connection. They have very detailed plans coming up on how to stay together while she's on tour and he has games. Moving on to November, Taylor takes her tour to Argentina and Brazil for 6 shows, and spoiler alert, Travis does make an appearance. Taylor's second show in Buenos Aires had to get rescheduled because of terrible weather conditions, but lucky for us, that means on the 10th, we got to see these videos of Taylor and Travis leaving a restaurant hand in hand with her father, Scott Swift, who was about to become Travis's new #1 fan. Alright, brace yourself for this one, because so much happened on November 11th. We'll start off with Travis and Scott in the VIP tent acting like the best buddies, which is funny considering that Scott Swift was previously a self-proclaimed diehard Philadelphia Eagles fan, which just happens to be Travis Kelce's brother's team. But he was sporting a Kansas City Chiefs lanyard in support of his daughter's boyfriend, who, guess who gave it to him? Now, as for Taylor, she was serving throughout the show. She probably looked over or pointed at Travis more than 100 times throughout the night, but these were the most notable moments where she made it so obvious of how in love she is. During blank space, she pointed at Travis during the line, "'Cause you know I love the players, but you love the game." Then she sang Endgame as the piano surprise song, which if you didn't know is the song people have kind of deemed as their song because it talks about how their relationship would be a huge conversation considering their huge reputation, and how she wants that to be the relationship she spends the rest of her life in. But to make things even cuter, usually during the surprise songs, the bracelets that the audience wears light up with the corresponding color of the era. However, during Endgame, the lights were flashing between gold and red, which are Travis's Chiefs colors. Now, this is the moment that Swifties think daily about and probably will forever. Taylor Swift actually changed the lyrics of her song, which is something she never does, like ever. The original line in Karma, which is "Karma is the guy on the screen," was changed to "Karma is the guy on the Chiefs." When I tell you everyone lost their minds, I mean, just look at this clip. Of course, she just giggled and kept dancing, but luckily somebody was filming Travis's reaction to this moment, and he was just totally blushing. If you thought that I was done talking about this night, then I'm sorry, because shortly after the internet went ballistic over that lyric change, a video was posted to social media, and I'll just let you watch it to see what happens. You can actually see how respectful Travis was in that clip. He didn't rush to embrace Taylor. He actually kind of let her do that, and that's just peak respect and why a lot of Swifties were going pretty nuts about it, and rightfully so. Unfortunately, since one of Taylor's Argentina shows was rescheduled, we only got to see Travis at one show, but I'm sure that since he'll be done with his football season very soon and she'll go back on tour in February, that we'll see a lot more of them traveling the world together. Shortly after Argentina, Travis gets a cover story with Wall Street Journal magazine. Why was Wall Street Journal? I don't know. Now, on November 20th, we got to read about how much Travis appreciates Taylor straight from the source. Travis gushes to the Wall Street Journal that he's never dated anyone with an aura like Taylor's. He also reveals that they share similar values and calls her a genius who is hilarious. Quote, I've never been a man of words. Being around her, seeing how smart Taylor is, has been fucking mind-blowing. I'm learning every day. Obviously, I've never dated anyone with that kind of aura about them. I've never dealt with it. But at the same time, I'm not running away from any of it. And the scrutiny she gets, how much she has a magnifying glass on her every single day, paparazzi outside her house, outside every restaurant she goes to, after every flight she gets off, and she's just living, enjoying life. When she acts like that, I better not be the one acting all strange. On November 29th, Taylor likes this Instagram post on the Chiefs page that celebrates Travis's new record, and he goes on his podcast to thank her for constant support by saying,
Thanks, Tay. I appreciate you on the Chiefs page.
On December 3rd, Taylor showed up at yet another football game, but this time it was an away game against the Packers in Wisconsin. This is Taylor's first away game with Travis, aside from the game at MetLife, but she didn't have to travel very far for that one back in October. Once again, she spent the evening with Brittany Mahomes, and she seems to be loving her new WAG lifestyle. If you aren't up to date with the football slang, WAG stands for wives and girlfriends of the players. Now for December 6th, Taylor gets named Time Person of the Year and finally spills on her side of the relationship timeline. Now previously, we had only gotten information from unknown sources or from Travis, but this is the first time Taylor herself has addressed anything. It's so funny actually because Travis is always respecting their privacy, but then Taylor just finally comes clean and decided to spill on all the details we wanted to know all along. She said, this all started when Travis very adorably put me on blast on his podcast, which I thought was metal as hell. We started hanging out right after that, so we actually had a significant amount of time that no one knew, which I'm grateful for because we got to get to know each other. By the time I went to that first game, we were a couple. I think some people think they saw our first date at that game. We would never be psychotic enough to hard launch our first date. She went on to explain that they have nothing to hide when it comes to their relationship. When you say a relationship is public, that means I'm going to see him do what he loves. We're going to show up for each other. Other people are there and we don't care. The opposite of that is you have to go to an extreme amount of effort to make sure no one knows that you're seeing someone. And we're just proud of each other. On December 10th, Taylor heads back to Kansas City to enjoy one of her new favorite activities, which is watching football, like the most normal thing she's ever done, but somehow she's still in the headlines after every single game. Taylor is just out there supporting her boyfriend and doesn't care about what a few Brads, Chads, and Dads have to say about her being shown too much on the broadcast, because this is completely out of her control. Unfortunately, the Chiefs did lose this game, but the team still went out and partied all night, which we got all these photos from throughout the night and the next day. Now, I feel like I have to note that Taylor's birthday was on December 13th. However, Travis was not in attendance for her birthday party due to his super tight practice schedule. Some people forget that football is a professional career and it's his job, so he can't really miss out on games or practices to hang out with his girlfriend. But that's one of the reasons why the world loves him. He's successful on his own and was even before dating Taylor Swift. Also, just because he wasn't seen publicly celebrating her birthday with her doesn't necessarily mean they didn't get to do something together before or after. It's also rumored that one of these many flower deliveries to Taylor received on that day was from Travis. A few days later, on December 17th, we see Taylor attend her 6th Chiefs game of the season, and by this point, the NFL has stopped pushing her appearances as much due to external pressure and because she's been attending so many more games. The Christmas Day game felt like a family reunion, and on New Year's Eve, Taylor and Travis did share a New Year's kiss. Finally, at the Golden Globes, as much as Travis wishes he was there, he couldn't because he had a game, and despite being benched to prepare for playoffs, he still can't miss a game. So, do you think this is going the distance?